Feliz Cinco de Mayo. Ginger Zee in my kitchen. So pumped because we're making something special for our easy eats. Something that you'll probably be able to make because there's got a lot of ingredients that you probably already have in cans and things, and then a couple of things you can add. But I'm not going to teach you because I'm no professional. Certainly not at Cinco de Mayo fair. But we've got Chef Marcela Valladolid. I'm going to ask her if I'm pronouncing it all correctly once she gets on, but she's going to join me. And I'm so looking forward to this because she's in San Diego. She is going to tell us all about her Mexican heritage and the meaning and the way that they celebrate in Mexico versus how we do. And at the same time, we're going to make a tostada and some homemade salsa. And that's the part that I can't wait to learn about. So as soon as Chef Marcela gets on, and I'm going to keep trying, my phone is being a little bit weird, so sorry if you're just joining and I'm struggling here. But as soon as she gets on, she's going to join. I'm going to jump in here. And hopefully I'll be able to hear through here. You guys can hear me, right? And we're gonna do a virtual cook club. I've been doing all these cook clubs and it's been so fun on my page with friends, with family, also with chefs. And this one's gonna be extra special, I feel. And I feel like also afterward, we all deserve a drink. I feel like today's the day. I can do it. So Domo Zillionaire is asking, what are we making? We're making tostadas. And there she is.
Hi! Hi! Nice to meet you.
That works.
Oh,
Yep.
I think I can hear you now. I couldn't hear you before.
Well, there we go.
Hi! How are you?
Hi. It's great to be with you.
Oh, I'm so excited. Thank you for the invitation. I've been totally checking out your Instagram, and I love that you cook and you work out, and you're so my jam. So I'm so honored that that we're cooking together today, and happy Cinco de Mayo and the whole thing.
And you are as well. And my aunts and my cousins, well, my cousins still live in San Diego, so I feel this connection already. I feel it. I feel like we're going to have a great time, and everybody on here is going to learn a little something, I'm sure. But also, let's make it a little party, shall we? Because why not?
Totally. Everybody, like you said, I personally don't drink, but I know that a lot of people just need a cocktail right now, and I'm totally on board. I don't drink them, but I pour them often. These days, I pour them for Philip every day, so it's all good. And you did mention Cinco de Mayo. I think it's super, I've said this forever, and I always love to say that because people ask me, what did you do in Mexico, for Cinco de Mayo growing up? And the honest to God answer is nothing. It's a holiday that's not celebrated in Mexico. It's a holiday that's only pretty much celebrated here, but also in Puebla because it was a small battle won against the French. It was very significant because it was mostly manpower, so it was very kind of representative of the power and passion and strength of the Mexican army. But it's not like a national holiday. For me, Cinco de Mayo, it's 4 de Mayo, school was still going on,
right?
Not really a national holiday, so I didn't start celebrating it until I moved to the U.S. and started doing press for my culinary career. So that's the honest story.
Well, that's helpful, but it you know what? It's a reason to celebrate and to have a social virtual cook club with you. It's worth it for that. That's what it is for sure.
100%. Anything that celebrates Mexican culture, Mexican food, the contributions that the beautiful people of Mexico had made to this country, I am in 100%. So I'm in.
Well,
I'm excited.
I have a minor in Spanish, and I was supposed to study there. I've lost a lot of it, but every time I travel to anywhere, Argentina, Chile, I've been in a couple places, and then it comes back so quickly, and I get so excited. But not that we're going to do that here. We're going to keep it mostly English.
After a couple drinks, maybe we can start speaking Spanish?
Perhaps. That would... I just realized I didn't preheat my oven, so I'm going to start by that. Why don't you tell everybody what we're making and what they're about to see?
Okay, cool. So this is what we're going to do. The other day, I made something's beeping. Oh, that's you. I was like, am I beeping? You're beeping. So the other day, I made this wonderful roast chicken with my sister and my followers, and then I got a ton of questions about what to do with the leftover roast chicken. And I think that's a common issue that most of us have. And most of us are really just kind of trying to work with ingredients that we have at home. So I was like, well, what can I make with this shredded chicken that's really easy, really yummy, kind of healthy, because I think it's important to work on our health and immunity these days. So I came up with these super simple, healthy chicken tostadas that my mom, Maria, who's now in heaven, used to make like 3 times a week because she did not feel like cooking. And this is a super, super simple, healthy recipe that you can make with, and I'll tell you all about the substitutions. It's just, you don't really have to buy anything special. Maybe the jalapeno, which I'm frying right now. If you don't usually, we have jalapenos here, like in the fridge and in the garden, like year round. But like, if you don't, there you go. If you don't, you can skip the spice, and it's still a great tomato salsa.
Okay.
So should we start? Should I get into the recipe?
I say let's get into it. Let's do whatever anybody would do along with us, because they could follow it later. We're going to post it. You'll be able to see the recipe when we post it. You'll be able to follow along, even if you can't right now. But we're going to have some fun, so you should stay with us.
Cool. And all my followers, they got my newsletter that has the recipe. So I know a lot of people are cooking in real time. It always surprises me. Tortillas are actually super healthy for you if they're made with the right ingredients. Yeah, all you need in the ingredients list when you're buying a tortilla, preferably organic, obviously, but all you need in there is slaked lime because of the corn and salt, and that's it. That's a really, really healthy tortilla.
Look at mine.
Yeah, it shouldn't really have any preservatives. Hopefully it's organic, and you don't really need anything else. You know, since pre-Hispanic times, entire civilizations have survived on tortillas and beans, and because those together, they form a complete protein. So there's science and thinking behind that. That's all you need. Good job. Are those yours?
Yeah, these are mine, and I just looked, and it's no additives, no preservatives, organic corn, water, and then crushed limestone.
That's a healthy tortilla right there. And in terms of how you're going to make it into a tostada, this is what my mom used to do. She literally would just leave it on the comal stovetop, which is Mexico's version of a cast iron skillet. I didn't like mine, and most people don't have one at home. So you just put your oven or preheat at 350, pop them in there directly on the rack. I'm going to show you. I'm going to move my phone, my little tripod. Okay. I have some that are already in here. Actually, these are cool now. These are cool now, but they were kind of like this. They were kind of like this, and I just let them go for like 15 minutes. See that?
Yeah.
And they come out. I'm going to grab a couple so I can build one and I can break one.
I'm going to throw them in.
Yeah, just put them directly on a rack. Put maybe a 10-minute timer on.
Okay. I'm not all the way up to 350, but I'm just...
That's okay. They'll start drying. So this is what they look like after they've been cooked. So just like this. Now, these are a little bit on the golden brown side, but that's okay. Ginger's popping them in the oven. So as opposed to like using a lot of oil and the oil absorption that happens to the tortilla when you're deep frying, all you're doing here is drying out the tortilla. So you don't have to fry. You're not getting any extra fat. I have nothing against fat, honestly. I think there's some fat that's really good for you. If you want to fry them, it's all good. Just use avocado oil. But look how crunchy. It's crunchy. Ooh. It's crunchy. Nice. Yeah, it's like a tortilla chip. It's a tostada. So we're beeping. Are we good?
Yeah, my oven has a problem. It always yells at me and says MDL circulatory error. It's something with the breakers, but I'll fix it.
It needs attention. It needs love. It's like my daughter Anna. If she's incest beeping. Have those guys. What's great about these is they can last a few days. And if you have, I just did actually this morning. If you have any left over, which I'm sure you will, you just put them in a zip top bag and you punch them, and they turn into like the most delicious gluten-free breadcrumbs for anything that you want. Or even if you want to like saute some garlic and butter and add the crumbled up tortillas, like it's a great topping for macaroni and cheese or for pasta. So there's like a million different uses you can do with a scaled tortilla. So don't throw them out, punch them up in a zip top bag, and then you've got crumbles that are good in the same way that you would use like panko or breadcrumbs. They would be great in a meatball to top any kind of soup or anything like that. So never throw out the crunchies, and they last forever.
I'm the queen of efficiency. So any tips like that, keep them coming, and I'm going to use them because my husband's the one that's like, oh, it's old. I'm like, what are you talking about? Let's use it. So
I'm the same way. Like, I can't stand throwing anything out. I like to like just keep reusing the heck out of everything until it disappears. So this was once a soft tortilla, now it's a tostada, and then it becomes crumbled, and it keeps like, you know, recycling itself into something new. Okay, so we can set those to the side. And then, so you're going to start this salsa from scratch. I kind of moved ahead a little bit so we wouldn't be here for an hour and a half. But what I did basically, I just started with a dry skillet. And all that means is you're going to start cooking your ingredients in the pan with no oil. So
and just a pan like that?
A dry pan, heavy cast iron would be great. Doesn't have to be nonstick. Nonstick actually won't give you a lot of that crusty crust that gives you like, yeah, that's perfect, yeah. Nice and heavy. So set it over high heat, and you don't have to wait for it to heat up. Just add like your tomatoes.
Okay.
And then your quartered onion.
How are your tomatoes cut?
And really important, when you add the garlic ginger, add it with the peel on, because that's going to protect it from getting bitter. Yeah, you're going to peel it when you pop it in the blender.
How are you, did you cut your tomatoes, or are they just?
No, the thing is they kind of dehydrated because they've been in here for a while. It's just a whole tomato. So that's what's cool about this. It's basically you're just throwing stuff in a pan. So it's the whole Roma tomatoes, the whole jalapeno, the quartered onion, and the whole garlic clove, and just let those hang. So what's going to happen, your house is going to start to smell amazing in about 15, 20 minutes. Everything's going to get like dark and charred. And then this is what happens. Like most people from that point, from when they're charred, they go directly to the blender. I like to splash a little bit of olive oil over the top, which is what I'm going to do now. I'm going to turn up the heat.
And you left it on medium or low? What was that?
High. The whole time is high. You're literally looking, and if you've never done this before, like you're literally looking to blacken. Like don't be afraid. They get completely, see this jalapeno? Like it is dark. Like you're going to get black streaks, and that's what you're looking for, because all of that, and all of this is going to be blended into the sauce, and that's where you're going to get all of your flavor. See my onions? I'll show you the onions up close as well. We're looking to completely blacken those onions.
Got it.
Yeah?
So keep it on high and hang.
Keep it on high. And just that's what's great about this. Like you literally can't, I mean, unless you leave it for like 12 hours, but you can't burn it. And the more char that you get, the more flavorful your salsa will be. Okay. So it's all good. Okay, so I drizzled, after everything is like nice and blackened, I just like to drizzle with a little bit of olive oil, because what happens, you get, okay, so once we do that, we can go to the blend. Do you make fresh salsas at home, ever?
No, this is my first time, so I was so excited to learn this.
Okay, cool. So I'm going to move ahead, and you can do this, like you can rewatch yourself later, so you can finish the salsa. So directly to the blender, I'm going to put this over here so you guys can actually see it. Can you guys see? Okay, so I've got my jalapeno. So what I'm going to do to the jalapeno, I'm going to very carefully, and you can do all this with tongs. Like I've lost all sensitivity in my fingers, so you'll see me go in there with my hands, but use tongs if you don't feel like comfortable like reaching into like a searing can. So what I like to do, I take the jalapeno and I take off the stem, and you can wait for it to cool down a little and take off the seeds if you don't want it to be too spicy. We eat spicy in this house, so I'm just going to throw the whole thing in there without the stem.
Okay.
And it kind of just comes off by its own. See, it's so tender that you don't need to cut it. You just kind of pull it off and it comes off. So you throw that in the blender. And then, this is a really important tip. When you're scraping the ingredients to get them into the blender, try to get all of the crusty stuff at the bottom of the pan, because that's where all the flavor is. Like all those little burnt pieces, that's what's going to make the salsa to be charred and smoky and amazing. So I'm just going to take all of the ingredients. And remember, we have to peel the garlic, so that's happening in a minute. We add those in here.
Interesting.
And then that garlic clove, which is kind of hot.
If you're just joining us, this is Chef Marcela, and she's leading us through a homemade salsa, and we are celebrating with tostadas. And they're so far extremely healthy, and more healthy than I could have imagined. So that's a really nice twist on this that you can bring. And we're going to post the recipe. You'll be able to see it on this post, and you can go follow her too. Thank
you for saying that. I think part of my career has kind of been like tearing down that misconception that Mexican food is so unhealthy. I grew up in Baja, so for us it was like super healthy, ocean to table. Not a lot of fried food, honestly. So it's always like so sad when people are like, oh, it's a cheat day. I'm gonna get Mexican food, and I'm like, really? Because my healthy days are the Mexican food that I grew up with, Right. So thank you for saying that. Okay, so the garlic clove, super easy to peel. I just took the peel off, and here it is. And this caramelized goodness has no bitterness because we held that in the peel. So this goes in the trash, and this guy goes in the blender.
I
Just
would
like
never
that.
know that. Okay.
I'm here to serve, Ginger. Okay, so this is basically your salsa. Like, I just made a portion for, like, you know, 4 tostadas maybe, but you can double this. You can absolutely double this. You can do, you know, whatever you want, 2 times, 3 times. The tomatoes should have enough liquid for you to be able to blend this without adding any extra liquid. If you need to add any extra liquid, you can just add a little bit of water. No need to do anything crazy with like stocks or broth or anything like that. So I'm just going to add, looks a little dry to me, maybe a tablespoon or 2 of water.
My boys 1, 2, 3 said you are amazing.
Oh, tell them I love them. Tell them thank you. Philip actually took the kids. He's like, do you want them to be in the live or do you want me to take them? So I'm like, no, take them. Take the children.
Yeah, it gets rough. One of mine is about to come in, so it depends. It depends on their mood, really, how it ends up going.
Listen, I was doing a live yesterday, a really important live yesterday, and my 5-year-old came in to tell me I had to use the potty, like in the middle of the live.
Hey,
oh my God!
I'm about to go to Gigi's house.
Oh, well, he's not going. He's doing.
Gigi, get your
he's
mom
doing
to make tostadas.
He's doing a drive-by birthday for his friend Gigi. That's what he's about to do.
Yeah.
Awesome. We've done a couple of drive-bys too. What is his name? I don't know his name.
That's Adrian.
Hi, Adrian. Have fun at the Gigi's birthday. Tell Gigi I said happy birthday.
he's out. He ran.
Yeah.
Gigi's his like best bud. So they haven't seen each other, and you know. So he's so excited. He made a sign.
Okay, so I'm gonna add, where was I? Yes, the salsa. A big old pinch of salt. I like things to be nice and really salty and really yummy, so I'm just gonna add that in there. And then,
yes.
I never do black cracked pepper on my salsas, ever. It's something that we didn't grow up with, that I didn't grow up with. Any heat that I'm gonna get it for my jalapeño or my serrano or habanero or whatever chile I choose to use. But it doesn't exist really like in my salsas or guacamoles or anything like that. I'm a huge proponent of kind of letting the ingredients kind of speak for themselves. So just a little bit of salt to bring out the flavors. But if you've got good ingredients like good juicy tomatoes and, you know, good jalapenos, which are hard to find these days, but if you can find a good jalapeno, like those are the flavors that you want to accentuate. And sometimes pepper kind of hides that a little bit. Okay, so
I love salt. If you said no salt, I would have been like, meh. But no pepper I can do.
No, I'm obsessed. Like, I don't know what salt you have. And the Maldon salt, the sea salt flakes, like this stuff is like, we use it for everything, and that's like the best. It's clean. Yes! Great minds, Ginger. Great minds. Yeah, that's a good salt to have on hand. I use it for everything. It's not cheap. It's worth every penny. It's clean salt, and it really enhances the flavor of your food without the chemical-y taste of iodized salt. I'm super sensitive to that flavor. I can't stand it. Yeah. And this is just a clean salt that lets the food kind of speak for itself, and I love that. Okay, so I'm just going to blend this for a couple seconds, not too much.
Whew. If you're just joining us, this is Chef Marcela. We're making tostadas. We are making them, they're healthy, and she's making a homemade salsa right now. My stuff is blackening. I'm going to show you what it's looking like while you do that.
Yes! You could be Mexican, Ginger. It's looking good.
Yes.
Looking good. Keep turning it. Keep turning it. You might have 1 extra tomato on there, but that's fine. Like, yeah, I think
it'll be good because the kids, I have to cut the spice usually.
I was gonna say it's gonna mellow out the jalapeno, so you'll be good.
Yep.
Okay, so I did my salsa, and this is kind of what it looks like. I'm just gonna pour it out. See?
Yum.
Fresh
Ooh.
salsa.
Looks so good.
Oh my
God. You serve that warm.
I was gonna say I love warm salsa. I think that's where it's at. I think warm salsas make all of the difference in terms of, how's it looking?
So far, so good. I think they need a couple more minutes.
Maybe a couple more minutes. Let me grab my shredded lettuce that's in the fridge.
Yeah, because I want to know about this dressing.
Okay.
Because I have like a somewhat dressing mix, like the red wine vinegar. I just don't know how much, so I don't know if I did it.
Super simple. So my mom, long story short, my mom didn't cook. She was an excellent cook, but she was ill. She's passed away, but she spent a lot of time sick, so she wouldn't cook for us. My dad couldn't cook, so we would starve. So my dad actually poached a cook from a restaurant to come cook at our home since we were very tiny, because my mom wouldn't cook. She was in bed most of the time. His name was Pedro, and he's like the biggest inspiration in my culinary career. And what I learned from Pedro, he was just, I don't know if you've ever known this person in your life, like he would make a sandwich, and it was like the best sandwich you've ever had in your life. Or just whatever, he would make a quesadilla, which is just like, what is that? Just like cheese and something that he did, it was always amazing. And this was his secret. He flavored every single layer of every single dish, no matter what the dish was or how simple it was.
That makes sense. Okay.
Every single layer. So if many times when you're served a tostada in a restaurant, they just do like, they spread the beans, blah, blah, blah. But if Pedro was making the tostada, he would season the shredded lettuce. He would dress it, olive oil, salt, a little bit of pepper, a little bit of red wine vinegar. Like every single layer was flavored. And in the end, every bite that you got was just layered, beautiful, deep magic. And that I learned from Pedro. Wherever you are, Pedro, I love you. So for the lettuce, any greens will work. What you're adding here is kind of freshness and a crisp bite. So romaine will work. Butter lettuce will work. I've got iceberg here. So anything that'll give you like a nice crunch, that's what we're looking for. And in terms of the dressing, like, and this is my suggestion, anytime you're making a sandwich, if you're making a burger, I always dress the lettuce. That's like my jam. So what we're going to do, literally maybe just a drizzle, olive oil.
Okay.
That's it. Red wine vinegar. Also like a tablespoon or two, not too much.
Yeah, because
again, the salt.
It's hard to tell if you're overdressing or underdressing, so just less is more. Always.
Yeah, definitely. And what's great about this is you're going to start building in a couple minutes, so you're going to end up lifting up and leave the excess in the bowl. And then here I do add the pepper. I think cracked pepper actually is a great ingredient for something as simple as like iceberg lettuce. So we're going to do some cracked pepper. And then we're going to move this around a little bit. And I'm telling you, like, things as simple as, like, dressing your greens before you assemble a sandwich, a burger, a tostada, as a topping for, like, enchiladas. It just makes a huge difference. And because most of these recipes have some kind of cheese, some kind of fat, like, we're going to use either sour cream or Mexican crema, and we're going to do the cheese crumbles. Like, it's always nice to find a way to get some sort of acidity in there. In this case, it's the red wine vinegar to cut the fat. It's just a great counterpoint for all of those more creamy and richer ingredients. Nice. Okay, so you've got your salad.
A lime as acid for the...
Absolutely. Red wine vinegar is just a little more mellow. Like the lime is going to be like, whoa, I'm here. I am present in this meal. You know, red wine vinegar is more of a flavor enhancer, so it's going to let the other ingredients kind of do their thing. But lime is also a flavor catalyst that is used to finish. Like, think of if you're in a taqueria, you're not going to finish with vinegar, you're going to finish with lime. So it's also widely used as like a flavor catalyst in all.
I love citrus so much, so I always like try to add it. And my husband's the opposite, so I have to like add it to mine later. That's what I was.
No, but it's a great. What you need is acidity, basically. So in whatever form that comes in, the red wine vinegar is honestly something that my mom did. But lemon or lime are great choices here and a great dressing for your salad. So you just need like, who said sherry wine? I think that would be too sweet. Again, it's another one of those ingredients that kind of takes away from the original ingredients. So I would definitely try to stick with either a lighter citrus, like a lemon or a lime, like maybe not a grapefruit or an orange. You don't want to add sweetness. So lemon or lime is great. And just a little bit of olive oil, and that's it.
Yeah.
Okay. So in terms of like the crema drizzle, you have options here. I'm like everybody else. I couldn't do a special trip to the Mexican market today because the line was like around the block and it was too crazy. So, and most people don't have access to Mexican crema.
I'm just letting my dog in. Sorry.
Hold on. Tell him I said hi. I love
Here's
dogs.
the real life. Come on in, Brando. Get in here.
Hi, Brando.
Brando, come in. Never mind. I guess.
Is he safe?
He's fine. He's a puppy, so he's chewing a lot, so we have to keep an eye on him.
Is he new?
Yeah, we adopted him right before this all started purposely because we kind of felt it coming and my travel started getting canceled. So it was the first
Yeah.
time I was going to be home.
Yeah.
And we were like, if we're going to do it, we're going to do it now. We found out today. Yeah, we found out today, and he's awesome. He's so great with the kids. He's wonderful. But he's such a chewer, and he chewed some wires to the pool. So can't wait to see what that costs.
Oh, so many people got puppies. My brother-in-law got a puppy too, and he's also, yeah, it's another kid is all I'm going to say. It's another kid.
Yeah.
Okay, where were we? Mexican crema. So if you don't have access, Mexican crema is just like another version of like a sour cultured cream, a sour cream. It just has a higher fat content.
Okay.
It's also easier to drizzle. And it's a tiny bit tangier. It's a little more flavorful than sour cream.
Okay.
So if you don't have it though, which is, I didn't have it this morning either, you just take regular sour cream, add a tiny, see, because when you have sour cream, like you can't drizzle, right? It's like blah, no drizzle. So you take just a little bit of water.
Okay.
Maybe a tablespoon. And then here's the secret. Distilled white vinegar to add a little bit of extra tang, but it's like a hidden tang because it's really, this is just flavorless. It just kind of wakes up your taste buds. So it's like just adding that acidity that I keep talking about, maybe half a cap. And then this is where I was talking about seasoning in layers. Like even if you were using just Mexican crema, I would totally suggest to season it with a little bit of salt. And maybe even a little bit of pepper. And again, to that bite, you're just adding another layer of flavor.
Yeah.
So we're just going to mix that up. I've got this on. I don't need to be on. So we're just going to mix that up. And we want to get it to like drizzle consistency.
Yeah.
We're almost, how much time do we have, Ginger?
We're doing fine. We can do whatever we want. This is our show.
We can hang out. That's the thing about these lives. I've been doing them too, and I'm like, I'm going to cook with you guys for 20 minutes, and I stay on for like an hour and 20 minutes. Like, I know. I won't do that to you, though. I promise.
It means we're having a good time, so that's okay.
Exactly.
Believe me, we would know if I wanted to go.
Okay. You'd be like, bye.
Yeah, no, this making this, because I was all worried that I didn't have crema, and now I'm loving that I'm making it.
Now we have a solution. Okay, so we've mixed it up, and now we've got something that we can drizzle that we can top our tostadas with.
I might need a little more water.
Yeah,
I have a question though.
Water.
So
what we want to do is be able to drizzle. Yeah, I'm going to add a little more water too.
I have a question though, because when I was pregnant with my boys, I was drinking glasses of milk and like dairy like I'd never had before. I just really hadn't been that much of a dairy person. Since I had them, I have it's not an allergy, but it's definitely an intolerance.
Yeah.
Is there something that you might suggest outside of sour cream or crema?
100%. And it's one of my most popular recipes ever. I do a cashew cream.
Ooh.
That's incredibly simple. Literally, Ginger, all that you do is you take a cup of cashews and then soak them in 2 cups of water and let that go overnight. Just put them, cover them with salted, raw, preferably organic cashews. That's the recipe. You let those sit overnight. And what's going to happen is obviously the cashews are going to get really soft. You pop them in a blender with a fresh cup of water. You drain them first, obviously. You get rid of all that water that's kind of all white and milky and cashew. You get rid of that. Pop them in the blender. 1 cup of cashews that you soaked, and maybe a cup and a half, or like maybe just like a cup of water. You have to measure it depending on the consistency. And then, Ginger, you do the exact same seasonings that we just did with the sour cream. You add a little bit of distilled white vinegar, salt, and pepper, and you have a delicious, like, creamy crema topping that you can use for in any place that you need, like, a drizzle of cream, like soups and creams or enchiladas, chilaquiles, tostadas, all that stuff. It's a great cream. How are they looking?
They're looking perfect.
Okay, good. Oh yeah, you're
and to me that's the key. You know, having those substitutes, people always ask that on these lives. And then I became one of those people. I was like, because I would love to, truly, when I was pregnant, I would have drank that thing of sour cream.
Totally. And I'm with you. Like, I also have a dairy sensitivity, and because of a thyroid issue, I'm mostly autoimmune paleo. That's just the way I eat. Every once in a while, if it's organic, it's clean, if I made it, whatever, I'll eat the cream or the milk or whatever, or the ice cream. But for the most part, I'm with you. I'm making that cashew cream once or twice a week because dairy, man.
Yeah.
Is it because we're older? Like, what is it, Ginger?
Maybe it could be because something happened. I'll tell you. And it's funny because now my kids eat, especially my 2-year-old. This kid eats more dairy than I've ever seen someone consume. Like he will eat. If I let him, he'd have 3 servings of yogurt a day, 2 string cheeses, and he always asks for a spoon with sour cream. I'm like, no, buddy, it's a topping, not like a yogurt.
Yeah. Just a little salt, Mom. Just give me a little salt and the sour cream, Mom, and I'm ready to go. So how's your salsa looking? Because we might be able to do this in real time.
Yeah, I think it's good. I think we're in great shape. I mean, I'll show you. Hold on, I gotta look at the dog one more time too.
Okay, you could actually go in the blender already.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay. So let me check on the dog real quick. I know this is not at all about cooking, but you know, we could lose another generator or something.
This is real life.
Thank you so much, Brando. Great. Now he's just going to come check to see if any food's made his way.
Oh, he's so cute.
He's very sweet. He really is such a good dog. It's just, just the newfound issue today. We're so concerned. Okay.
Listen, but eventually they turn, like, I don't know what's going to happen. Hopefully the same thing happens with your dog, but my dog, Congo, he has become my baby's bodyguard. Like, if ever they run out of the house, my baby runs out after, like, my dog runs out after them, which is, like, so amazing.
With the kids, he truly is the best, and we're so lucky that, he's that way. And I had a dog before him, and so I went through puppy stage. But we took it away. He ate this thing, the rattan wicker.
Yeah.
There was a couch. He ate all the way through it. I just had to show you that because it was pretty amazing.
There's going to be, like, maybe a few months of that. God bless you.
Yeah.
Don't stop.
Okay, so let's do salsa. I'll get you back in there.
Let's do salsa. Okay. So go to the blender. I'm going to hang out. I'm just going to walk you through the blender. If you want, do you want to blend it or do you want me to keep going? You tell me. It's your show.
You keep going and I'll get my stuff out. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So what we're going to do, so basically we're just kind of building at this point, and I'll talk about the substitution for the beans. So I'm going to put where can you see this? Can you see it here? You can see it here? Yes, you can. Okay, so I'm going to talk about, while Ginger's getting ready, I'm going to talk about beans. So here's the deal. Beans are kind of a pain in the behind to cook from scratch. Well, not really. They just take a really long time. And there's like secrets and tips to like get them to like the right consistency. So if you don't want to cook beans from scratch, this is my mother in heaven giving you permission to get canned organic, either refried beans or just like regular boiled pinto beans, and then just kind of mash them yourself. I get organic refried pinto beans all the time in like a little packet at the Mexican store here in San Diego, and they are absolutely delicious. Like, I don't even need to add any flavorings or any salt or anything. It's just ready to go. And if you don't have like access to beans or you don't want to make them, a great substitution here is hummus. Now, I know the Mexicans out there are going to be like, what is she doing with the hummus? But here's the thing. It's like a mashed up bean. It's a bean. And at the end of the day, what you're looking for is something to anchor your chicken. Something to make the chicken stick to the tostada so that when you lift it up and eat it, like all of the accoutrements, like all of the toppings, like don't get all over your face. So yeah, so we're just looking for something to schmear, basically. Throw it in. Oh, is that the garlic?
Yeah.
Okay, so you have to cut off a little bit of the top so that you can literally probably just squeeze. I hope it's not too hot. You can probably just squeeze the clove into the blender.
Piece off. Hold on. Oh yeah.
So yeah, or even if you don't have like straight hummus, if you have canned garbanzo beans, you can mash them yourself with a little bit of oil. You can refry them and treat them like a bean. Season them with a little salt, pepper, maybe a little bit of cumin, a serrano chile, and you've got like garbanzo bean, like refried bean, which is really delicious, actually.
If you are just joining us, I am making the homemade salsa now that Chef Marcela has already made. But I love the tip, and I'm going to say it again because this will help me remember that we grilled that with the skin on, and that's important. Yeah,
otherwise they blacken really quickly, and it gets kind of bitter. Oh, my dog just made an appearance. Hi, baby. Come here. You can say hi. Come here, say hi. This is Congo. Oh, he's just gonna take a nap right there.
Good, perfect.
Okay,
I love that.
thank you for doing that. You're very handsome. He's just gonna hang out.
Okay, so
And
onions
then-
are going in.
Onions are in.
They're very black, so.
Yeah, throw them all in there. It's all flavor, my friend. Maybe add, what did I add? Like 2 tablespoons, 3 tablespoons of water, a big pinch of salt, and then let it roll.
I'm gonna do like half of the jalapeno just to be safe with the kids.
Okay. Well, yeah. And see, here's the thing. Like back in the day when we didn't manipulate our crops so much so that we could have like strawberries in December, the flavor of jalapenos and all kind of chiles were kind of standard nationwide and worldwide. But we manipulate our crops and our produce so much to yield us bigger pieces. Like that jalapeno that I showed you, like that's a freaking poblano. Like what are they doing to this jalapeno, you know? But sadly, honestly, these days, people choose size and perfection over flavor
Real food.
density. Yeah. So
No, I did a whole show for our digital network called Food Forecast, where because my passion on top of meteorology and climate is the intersection of that and agriculture. And so I was able to look at how a changing climate and also the production of food has evolved and what changed it and where it was instigated. And so in those 2 seasons that I did that show, I already knew the weather and climate side. I didn't know the agriculture, and it was stunning what I learned inside of there, you know. And I grew up on a small farm, so I was so lucky. When I was a kid, we had a lot of the produce that just grew out of the ground. I never thought about it much differently until I went to college. And that's when that's when I started getting sick. That's when I had reactions to food because it was not food.
Yeah, you know? that just gave me chills because I know we're not going to veer in that direction, but I feel like a lot of what we need to be talking about these days more than anything is just cleaning up our food supply and our food system to build our immunity. I think at the end of the day, that's what this whole thing is about. It's making us stronger. I'm really fortunate. I have a 1,400 square foot edible garden. Here, I'll show you real quick while you're...
Now
let's walk out there real quick so you guys see the garden.
And I have to say that's my goal because I've got small herb and small garden, but I want to go bigger. We got the land now, and I'm ready.
It's super bright. I don't know if you guys can see. I can't see anything. Can you guys see the garden?
The climate you have.
Can you see the garden? I can't see it. Can you see it?
It's so bright. Yeah.
Is it so bright? No, you can't see it. I'll go back in, but Anna's out there. Oh, what a bummer, because you can't see the beds. Okay, I'll run back in. I was trying to show you guys the garden. Darn it.
Okay.
Okay.
So I'm just going to blend this real quick. It's going to be kind of loud.
Just blend it and add some water. And this is when you decide if you like chunky or like really soft salsa. Like it's totally up to you.
And how much salt again? You just said feel it out?
Maybe like a half a teaspoon.
Okay. Let me see. Let's see how that goes.
Right at the top. Looking good. I think you're good.
Looks good. I didn't have the top at the very top thing. I couldn't find it, so it's just splattering a little bit.
It's all good. Okay, so did you have beans? Like, what are you doing for beans? Do you have hummus?
I do. I have like a canned organic refried.
Sounds good. Okay, so you take your tostada, and then you just grab a little bit of the beans.
Okay.
Just kind of smear over the top. And that's like, oh, I need to raise it. And that's like your anchor for the chicken.
Right. And so far, I think the type we have, you can have vegan, because I have a sister and a dad who are vegan. So I'm like always thinking of making this. I see vegan without the chicken. I see it.
Oh, absolutely. And even if you, like, you could do just to add some extra body if you're using like the hummus or whatever. You could, I'm literally doing a live. It's my teenager walking into the kitchen. So you could do like the spread of the hummus and then actual like garbanzo beans, and that's going to give you a little bit more body and texture if you want to do that. Or if you want to just kind of sear some tofu and add it over the top, like it is what it is. You're just going to get, anytime you layer like seasoned shredded lettuce and salsa and avocado.
You're gonna be happy.
And like cream, like even if it's cashew cream, like it's amazing. Okay, so you've got the beans over there as a base, and then you take a little bit of the shredded lettuce, the shredded chicken,
Okay.
and just add it over the top.
Grabbing. Hold on.
So just shredded chicken.
Mm-hmm.
Shredded chicken. And then you're going to take a little bit of that salad. Now here's the thing. This guy already started to get really soft. Like if I was actually making this at home, like you dress that salad 1 second before you put it over the chicken. Because what you want to do is you want to get that crunch. See, it's a little soggy now. Not my fave. Like you want to do it literally right before you serve. So you top it with some
standing up pretty well, so I'm happy with it.
Okay, cool. So great. So just add a little bit over the top.
Yep.
And then you're just going to take some pieces of avocado.
Yes.
So I just like to, really simple, just cut it in half. And then just kind of grab a spoon and add make a little like flour over the top. Just add some.
Oh, that would be pretty. I already cut mine into ugly strips.
Doesn't matter. You know what? You're going to eat them anyway.
True.
So just add them over the top.
I do have one like that. There. It's a flower. It's like a H. I don't know what I just made.
It looks beautiful. Okay. And then we're going to take, let's see, what do we do next? So then we're going to take that salsa.
I put that.
This is my lunch, by the way. This is everybody's lunch over here. Okay. So then we're going to take that salsa, put some over the top. I cannot even tell you how many times a week this was dinner at my house in Tijuana. Because it would take my mom, like I said, she was too tired to cook. So this was like my meal, like so many days a week. So you've got that salsa, and then you're going to do
drizzle.
A drizzle of the crema.
Yeah.
I mean, how can you not love this? Fresh salsa, avocados, chicken.
And then
you take your crumbled cheese over the top. Like I would use queso fresco. Again, I'm going to get hate mail for this, but if feta is all you got, then feta is what you'll use. And
if you use the hummus, you may as well go to the feta.
Exactly. If we're going in that direction, we might as well go for the feta. Now, listen, there's a worldwide pandemic going on. Yeah, that's it. There's your tostada, my friends.
Perfect.
Super simple, super yummy. Most of the ingredients, hopefully, you have at home. And there you go.
Lunch for you, dinner for me, and everybody is happy. I am so grateful we got to do this together. Please, everybody, go follow Chef Marcela. We're going to post the recipe. I'm going to eat this. My family, as soon as they get in here, is going to devour it, I'm sure. I loved your tips. Thank you for this. It was very enlightening. This is the beauty of doing this is, it's selfish, but I learned. And I'm so grateful, so thank you.
And that's the most important thing to me anytime I do any of these things, that somebody has a little bit of takeaway. So I'm happy to learn that you learned something, that your viewers maybe learned something. And I'm on my Instagram in case there are any questions. Thank you so much. You're so sweet. Your family is so beautiful. The dog is beautiful. Thank you for having me. This was super fun.
Thank you. Oh, and Tony just said the recipe is on the website, gma.com/food. So there you go. All right.
Sounds good. Thank you so much. Bye.
Enjoy the rest of the day. Thank you.
Thank you.